Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program is brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. The first time I spoke with the folks in Dandridge about their water, they had me up there, and I knew about their awards and the #1 rankings and the world's best and the nation's best and all this stuff. But I still wondered, how is one water different from another? And then they slid a bottle across the table, and I tasted it. And my first words were, there's no aftertaste. And they said, exactly. And now all I drink is English Mountain Spring Water at the house. It's the best in the world. It's what we drink on set here. If you're looking to try it, taste it, go to their website, give them a call, English Mountain Spring Water. They deliver to your home. They deliver to your office, and they have great customer service. They are just great, great, great people. English Mountain Spring Water. You see the website right there. All right. Let's talk about the volunteers at the Combine this week. Now, Darrell Taylor has a lot of dash marks because he was there, went through the interviews and all that kind of stuff, but he did not work out. Some of these guys didn't lift. Daniel Batuli did, only 16 on the bench reps. You see their 40 times. Nothing great. Vertical jump, broad jump, which I know everybody at home was really eagerly awaiting to see the numbers there. Yeah. But I'll ask you guys, not the week that I think a lot of fans would have wanted to see from the former Vols.
No, I don't think anything really jumped out in terms of guys making a move, significantly helping themselves. Jennings, you knew he wasn't going to run a fast time. Callaway before the season talked about a 4.4. Had he done that, then I think maybe he gets more attention. People would go back and evaluate the tape a little bit more and say, all right, what are we missing? This guy has this kind of speed. Why didn't we see it on tape in terms of the production? Dominic Wood Anderson had some good measurables. I don't understand why Jennings didn't go through some of the on-field drills. To me, that's a strength. Correct. You want to show that. Now, he can't break tackles during the combine drills, but he can show his hands and his toughness. He did some of the things, the athletic stuff, that maybe isn't his strength. So it was kind of odd, and I don't know that it really gave anyone a big boost. A shame that Taylor couldn't participate, but we understand that because of the injury he's recovering from. Yeah.
Can't break tackles during the field drills. Vince, you got to think outside the box. I think the Combine, two things is about expectations, and so I don't know that anybody challenged anything. I do remember when I think it was T. Martin was talking about Callaway as a 4.4 guy, right. And I remember being like, I watched this team too. Feel vindicated on that front, but I think ultimately, Jennings, I think you mentioned it, is sort of a guy that this is kind of what we expected. This is kind of what you saw from these guys, and it was more about production than anything that those guys were going to wow anybody. And I will say too, maybe they didn't have the greatest day, but it's better than being the only team in the SEC that has no one invited to the Combine, which is what Tennessee was a year ago. Right. So I guess you got that going for you.
The Jennings stuff, some of his most interesting work, I bet, was in those interview rooms.
Yes.
Yeah. Because with the things he's gone through, those are issues that were brought up. So how he handled those will have a big say in how teams look at him. But that's a guy, when I look at these players, just give me the tape. I've never been big on that 40 time because there's football 40 and then there's track and field 40. And I'd rather have a guy that runs good football 40. Juwan Jennings, that's a guy I would look at the tape and say, let's see, he's playing against SEC athletes here. He's running around, through, and over people. I like him regardless of this 4.7 40. And there are plenty of guys in the NFL who have made it with a 4.7 40. They just didn't start out as high draft picks.
And plus, you don't show up how well he blocks at the Combine either. There's nothing there to tell you about that. And
how valuable he could be on special teams.
I was a little surprised Batuli's strength one. I thought he would be a 20-21 kind of guy on the bench press. But once again, look at his productivity in the SEC and how well he played. Which brings me to your next question.
No, go ahead.
I just think if I was going to bet on one of these guys, I'm going to bet on Daniel Batuli.
To have a long NFL, who has the longest NFL career?
Good, solid NFL career.
Who of those guys who has the longest NFL career?
I'm gonna go Juwan Jennings. I think this staff, when they got here and they were kind of looking at guys and they were in preseason camp, they weren't that impressed with him, and then they scrimmaged and they were like, oh, okay. And I think when you talk about that, you talk about just sort of the competitive fire. Everybody kind of says that, but I think his is legitimately a little bit different, and I think he can be a huge asset to a team. You talk about special teams, all those things. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go Jennings just for those reasons. The production, the gamer, the fire, those kind of things really do separate him.
It's true for everybody. A lot of it depends on where you land.
Yes.
I think it's very true for a guy like Juwan Jennings because somebody is going to have to see him, see it on tape, and then be willing to give him that shot and maybe put up with it. Part of what makes him great also is what gets him in trouble at times is the fact that he'll run through a wall for you. So he's got to land in the right spot. Very quickly, Josh, who's going to have the longest pro career out of that bunch?
I will add the qualifier Cavaleris to the question a little bit. As long as he stays healthy, I'll go Jennings. He's had multiple injuries. If not him, then I'll bet on Taylor's athleticism because his numbers, if he had worked out, I think he would have put up some wow numbers.
And I think pass rushers, if he shows anything in the league, those guys stick around for a while. Where are you going, Vince?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Jennings, but Taylor is right there. Batuli I consider too because but he is just limited. You have to have teams that are willing to, their style is to have those bigger linebackers, more thumpers inside. So because of that limitation, I will go with Jennings, but it's close with Taylor.
But Batuli needs to play in the AFC North where they run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
That would help him.
Very good. When we come back, is there going to be more Peyton Manning in your life, football fan? Maybe. We'll tell you how. Come on back on the Sports Source.